Hello, my name is Marcelo Serna, and this is my philosophical apology. This second partial, I am talking about gender roles, gender identity, and what is considered a true man and woman. To be more specific, I chose to tackle this specific quote from Simone de Beauvoir. One is not born, but rather becomes a woman. No biological, psychological, or economic destiny defines the figure that the human female acquires in society. It is civilization as a whole that develops this product, intermediate between female and eunuch, which one calls feminine. Only the mediation of another can establish an individual as an other. Insofar as he exists for himself, the child would not be able to understand himself as sexually differentiated. In girls as in boys, the body is first of all the radiation of a subjectivity, the instrument that accomplishes the comprehension of the world. It is through the eyes, the hands, and not through the sexual parts that children apprehend the universe. My thesis is that I agree with this statement. I agree that gender and what defines a woman or a man is purely a construction of society that has developed throughout history into the ideas and concepts we have today of gender and sex. Although there obviously are some sexual and physiological differences between human males and females, these do not define the identity or self concept of a person, since, as Simone said, in isolation and no previous knowledge of our world, a person would not define themselves as a certain gender or sex just as a human being. My first argument to back this up is that according to empiricist epistemological theory, the concept or knowledge of men, women, and gender in general is not an innate or natural concept of humanity. This is because when we are born, our parents, teachers, and society as a whole usually tell us that there is a man and a woman, a male and female gender. We take it in and accept this fact or concept and make it part of our knowledge. At one point in our history, we developed this concept of gender, and throughout millennia, we have integrated these ideas into our human nature. When in reality, if someone is never told that they are a man or a woman or what gender is, they will not perceive themselves as such, even if they have male or female sexual parts. My second argument would be that what we know as a concept of gender is constantly evolving and is slightly or very different depending on who you ask. Some people will define gender with things inside Immanuel Kant's phenomena, things like the biology of the person, their sexual parts, hormones, genes, etc. Some would define gender with things inside Kant's noumena, things like gender roles, identity, femininity, masculinity, etc. If we can't all agree on a definition of what makes someone a man or a woman, then the concept of gender is surely a social construct and something that is not innate to our nature. A counter argument that could be made is that according to rationalist epistemological theory, the knowledge and concept of what a man or a woman is can be deducted through reason and logic. By contrasting certain groups of people in society, their conditions, their roles, the things they do, how they are, you could deduct or come up with the idea of gender, or at least a difference between male and female humans. A rebuttal to this counterargument would be that, true, you could deduct an idea of gender and sex, but only by observation and by experiencing how society works. In a vacuum, with no previous knowledge or no other people to compare and contrast, you couldn't come up with the concept of gender, since it is something that is only relevant or existent in the context of a society. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you.